Hi folks, welcome to the Thrones World Cup, possibly for the final time today. So it is the last day on the calendar officially, but of course we don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. At the moment Austria and China are both at 3 wins and they have 2 games left to play. So whoever wins both of them wins the match, and if they share them, then yes, we have basically a decider, which might not be, or almost for sure won't be today, because it's getting late in China as it is. So what do we have here? So a few games not reported, but really the 2 that are still left to be played are this one, Robert Charvat's game, and Reinhardt's game. So I think Robert plays first, right?
I think so.
Okay, then let's have a look at what this is. So there we are. That's the Chinese Night's Watch Valyrian Steel deck. Wall defense, of course, and it's the version with 2 exchanges of information. We have Duharis and Duel as resets, which in this matchup is not the best. Could be better. Could be Morgulis. Then we have Forgotten Plans, which will be an extremely key plot, because the opponent's win condition potentially is tourney for the king. So that's going to be a mini game that we watch throughout the game. Then we have the crown here, and add the gates to get quick econ. So with all the draw, you're supposed to get the wall and then trigger it every round, which puts a clock on the game. You have about 5 rounds or so before the wall deck just wins. There's also Iron Throne, of course, to help win dominance, and generally characters are there and they can win power challenges maybe, which is for the knights maybe the weakest icon really. And yes, we have 3 copies of Nightmares and 3 copies of Hand's Judgment, which will be relevant in this matchup. Play waste could be as well, although the locations that Robert's deck plays, if you get rid of one, there might be another useful one to play into, and some attachments as well, I believe. Then we have fresh recruits, and anything interesting that we should mention. There's no Benjen in this one. There is Iron Emmet, a copy, which could be actually pretty nasty, because all the knights that jump in would have to do so immediately before Iron Emmet is knelt. And of course, Seasoned Woodsman is the key character that you want to get, searchable with fresh recruits. And Thorin Smallwood is one of the ways to gain power, if you can win on defense, which you can against the attacks that are not convincing. And that's about it. So basically the wall is what needs to happen for this deck. No Long Claw, no the commander thingy, Lord Commander.
Pinch is an interesting one.
Yeah, some destructive stuff here. Pinch, which you could trigger maybe on the power challenge, maybe even intrigue. Knights are not supposed to defend that well. Then you can stop some stuff with Craven, with insubordination, probably not that effective. There's Catapult, which could be dangerous. Strangler as well. So all of these are super searchable, of course. With I mean, you get them with exchange, you get them with just the draw on Seasoned Woodsman. You're going to have most of these attachments throughout the game, so we'll see if it's enough. What's it up against? So this Tyrell Lion deck. Let me just confirm that you are able to see this on screen. Yes, you are. Okay. So, yeah, we have a limited number of locations here, as I said, so actually it might not be that great if you can get rid of a 4 cost one like Hightower or Red Keep. You can go into Undercity or Redwine Straits, but that's about it. The thing is though, it plays Political Disaster, which this deck is built to survive Political Disaster, and Red Keep is a card that can keep cancelling the wall. If that's in play and cancels the wall, then it stops Night's Watch potential to get power and put pressure on the Knight's deck to do the same. And then you have a bit of time and maybe not such a disaster if you play that turn into Forgotten Plans. We have the Harris here as well. Vanquish, which, okay, let's not dismiss it. You could aggro, especially at the beginning. It's all night, so it never backfires. Coppers, so that you don't run out of cards. There's Econ as well. Forced March, okay, you can get rid of some defenders. In terms of characters. There is House Floor and Knight, 2 copies, which could target something maybe. You can't put attachments on everything, although if the wall is in play, then yeah, they have strength 2 or higher usually. But you might be able to hit with House Floor and Knight if there's no Boros in play, which is a key low strength character here that can bring a bunch of knights into play and get a good tourney.
Although sometimes you're happy to get rid of Boros if you have another one.
Yeah, you can get Boros replay, that's true. Knight of Flowers has renown, former champions have renown, and Sir Jaime gives renown. Maybe Green Apple Knights, for instance, that can, if they're really huge, they can win alone.
They actually started already if you want to join them.
I do. We'll join a second, so jumping stuff like Boros and Osmund, and then we have the events that I mentioned, so Burning Bright. Can put stuff like House Floor and Knight into play, or can put other stuff into play, of course. Clever Feint to replay the stuff in Shadows, and then the Iron Bank will have its due. Those are key cards that can actually get cancelled by that hand's judgment. And in terms of tourney, if you miss with tourney, then probably the knights, some of the knights will stay in play, some of the renown will stay in play if Robert plays tourney early, for instance, to get around Forgotten Plans, because the Harris is not going to push them out of play. So maybe we see it a little bit earlier than possible, but on the tourney turn, if they jump a bit with Boros and you can't close, then of course that renown does go away before dominance usually. So we have Red Keep and no wall. Red Keep is key, although Robert doesn't leave himself the gold this round. Has the econ, has the high tower, that's pretty decent. Probably not going to want to do too many challenges immediately with Late Summer Feast revealed, although I don't know if I'd maybe just give up on the prospect of denying cards to Night's Watch. Yeah, here comes the Control of the Power challenge, right? Sentinel Stand plus 2 characters that are already bigger than anything Tyrell can do here, basically.
Yeah, I think it's possible that Robert would have High Tower Knight, which if it's in challenges then gives you 1 gold, so you also have the 1 gold for the Red Keep potentially. But nothing particularly important to cancel right now except Halder. You could just cancel 1 Woodsman trigger, right? Is that Woodsman? Yeah, that's the Woodsman.
Yeah, if the wall doesn't come into play, then maybe Robert will just do as little as possible and bring High Tower Knight, I was going to say, into play to defend power, so it's not unopposed. Actually, now this is a bit of pressure, especially with Halder there. You can't do the free challenges with Green Apple Knight. Okay, this round with Late Summer Feast, not such a big deal. But yeah, you can't attack with fake challenges, so you have to do ones that you can push through. At the moment, Intrigue you can push through, and former champion is big, so let's say High Tower Knight comes into play, although then you would need the former champion for that, right? Yeah. Military suspect.
Hi.
Hello, is that Hannes?
Yes, indeed. Thanks for streaming again, and how awesome is it that we have these 2 decider games at the end of the World Cup. I'm really psyched.
Yeah. Nice of you to join us here. This is going to be dramatic. So last night or yesterday afternoon, I thought this was a favorable one for Austria here, with the knights and tourney and being able to target the military challenge. But now I'm not as convinced, and we see some setbacks right away. Craven on Green Apple Knight. Ooh, and attacking with 5 into potential 6. I don't think there was a game that we missed. Reinhardt and Superduck play after this one.
Oh yeah, it's now in the calendar correctly. If that's
Okay, so there was no tricks. Just attacked into Thorin with former champion. I think might have possibly overlooked that this was a bad plan and is not going to do it again. Or just
Yeah,
didn't
possibly
want
also.
to do the intrigue, didn't want to suffer military back.
Yeah, possibly don't want to get a challenge back.
Okay, so if that targets Red Keep, then we might see Undercity. That's a source of draw. I don't know, if you plan to trigger the wall, then getting rid of the Red Keep is a must, so fair enough. But now Robert has got access to great draw here.
Yeah, I think Old Town is such a key card in this deck for me. I mean, the Undercity. That it's better. I don't know if it's even worth it um, to have it replaced by Red Keep. How many Red
Yeah,
Keeps
but
are in Robert's deck?
I think 3.
Yeah, because I mean, if you give this draw, this can find so many different answers. Then could easily get another one. I mean, easily.
couldn't the logic be like, with Undercity he may find the Red Keep, but if you don't lay waste on it, he definitely has it, and then I don't know, then he has to find his seized, and if he does not, then the wall is basically useless, right? I mean, it has nightmares, right? So you could get
Yeah, I
good
mean, it has
nightmares.
nightmares, but
Yeah, that's true.
maybe depends definitely then if the wall is in hand as well, right? Because if you have the wall, then yeah, probably have to get rid of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could he win without the wall though is the question for me, because the power icons are stronger than whatever Robert's power icons will be here, almost certainly. Plus Torrent that you can't attack too much. You could hold on for a bit and try to win, although you still have the problem of tourney, because they can all just go into your weakest icon, which should be military. Well, my intrigue might be weakest, but I think military, they should be able to push through once a few of them are in play. So Vanquish is now has some potential. I mean, there's a lot of gold. It has some potential to go a little bit aggro, but I don't think so. Few shots come in here, and then you have 5 or 6, and can't kill them off with 2 claim.
Yeah, with Sentinel stand in play also doesn't seem likely that you get any of them with House Fluent Knight.
Sentinel stand, no wall, and they're all strong already. If the wall comes in, then Frost Knight will be the dead card basically, except for discarding your own Boros, or maybe even Green Apple Knight. That's playable with something like Burning Bright on the turn maybe. I think this player, not sure about his real name, Jing Jiaming, just won actually the Nanjing regionals in China yesterday. It was more than 20 players.
Oh, okay.
Played Nightwatch Kraken in that one, so he's a very good player. And yeah, he played the grindy Alliance deck with War Scorpions to win the Chinese nationals, I think, at the end of last year. And this grindy Valyrian Steel, we thought we'd beat it with Star Crossing, but it was very grindy, and it's very grindy against the Knights as well, which I thought would beat it. So great start.
Yeah, I had a horrible game against this, but also just Toran alone was very annoying because with crossing you need to do challenges into him.
Sam doesn't stop tourney, for what it's worth.
No, but it does reduce the strength of Green Apple Knights, right, on the intrigue challenges.
Yes. Things moving actually quite slowly. I don't think Robert will have 2 chances to play to play tourney. I don't think he will get to round 8. Probably not in power either, because Night's Watch has started okay here. So I think he'll get 1 chance, and he can't afford to play it into Forgotten Plans. I think it's going to be a disaster. Might leave it for after he knows it's gone, or might play it earlier than expected. Those are the two options. You can't play it at the time when you would normally do, which is, I'm guessing, round 5 or 6. Those are the ones that probably Forgotten Plans will be aimed at.
Hmm.
I think you can spare the cards, right, for this one. Sweet Sleep. Yeah. Gyre and Pinch, I think, are the only two attachments in Robert's deck. And Eastwatch Goes probably was awkward for a Political Disaster anyway, was never getting played. So at the moment, House-Plundered Knight could actually get Hob.
Connor says you'd need Sweet Donner Hill to block Tourney Renown. I don't remember what Sweet Donner Hill is.
Everybody loses their keywords or something.
Yeah, I
while
don't
he's
think it's in the
defending.
deck. Second Green Apple Knight. Well, this one isn't getting Craven. There's only one Craven. But no fake attacks, as we said, so don't want to give Thorin his triggers. And Cage of Ravens is there, so basically faction card still standing for one thing to come into play. Cage of Ravens can put another thing into play. Could still introduce 2 military icons that are not in play at the moment. Well, that's ideal. If only Craven was gone, that would be really good for Tourney. You can keep them for the Harris as well. You can keep former champion and 2 of these for the Harris. And yeah, as I mentioned, the Harris into Crown could be an interesting situation. Robert would love to do Harris into Crown because his do Harris doesn't help him. He wants to get as wide a board as possible because that's a way to just win in one round.
And I don't know if he has anything on defense, but now even the 2-claim hurts a little. I don't think he wants to kill anything except the builder at the wall. I mean, it's not dramatic, but Milk of the Poppy. That's
okay.
not bad.
Yeah.
25 cards, and of course there's Milk and Craven found. Like Valyrian Steel, especially with Night's Watches, feels magic. It's like
yeah, that hurts. That hurts really badly here. You can get them, if you can get them discarded, they can come in with Burning Bright. If you put them on to the bottom with the Harris, you'd need to shuffle before you got them back, which could be tricky. Old Undercity doesn't shuffle. Boros shuffles. Boros shuffles really nicely, actually. Can you push the military through? At the moment seems easy, but as we said, 2 more attachments that give military icons could come in, and Halder's ability adds just a little bit. You have to be careful not to under attack if you want to kill stuff off. I think Robert will probably be aware of that. Probably wouldn't mind to get 2-claim Intrigue either. Would have been okay with Green Apple Knights, although, as Saraaa said, if Sam defends, what happens? The 2 knights go down to 1 strength, so yeah, it becomes tricky to actually push it through.
I used to take Mandan there.
1 military icon can come in. So I assume there's serious training and Practice Blade. Practice Blade has ambush. Serious training can come with the Agenda and with Cage of Ravens. Yeah, and they can take weapons. Cage of Ravens is knelt actually. Did it just kneel now to put something in, or was it knelt previously?
Milk of the Poppy.
I think it put the milk in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'd have to. He has actually triggered Valyrian Steel, which means if he ambushes the blade, then yeah, can't get the gold to also put serious training into play. I would assume 14 is enough, but maybe it isn't. And if this is defended and Torrent gains another power, I mean, that's just nothing achieved for Robert. That would be a really bad start.
Yeah, no serious training in the deck, by the way.
Interesting. Yeah, needs to kill 2 guys off. Then he has Forced March, which at the moment doesn't hit too well, actually, with only 1 military icon. Political Disaster also doesn't hit well yet. His own Harris to kill off some of the negative attachments, but then you lose your knights. Or he could just try, okay, this is going through. He could just try to marshal like crazy for a while, then see if he has 10 knights in play. They all share a military icon and just tourney. But, as we said, forgotten plans. What's the Harry situation? 4, 3 and 3. Not too bad for Night's Watch. He's now actually got... okay, no, Noble Lynch does come back. I was going to say he's got rid of the potential defenders for the power challenge with one of those knights, high tower knights in play. Could do 2 claim power. He would benefit from that a lot, I think, if he was able to pull it off. I imagine though with 2 gold. Well, now you have the faction card knelt. 2 gold. There is some ambush. Plus Halder's ability. It's not guaranteed if you put a 4 strength body into play that you actually push through the power challenge.
Or also gold for another lay waste. Get rid of now Altan Undercity maybe. Top his draw.
Takes dominance. He was calculating that even intrigue isn't enough. We'll just give Thorin the power, so it's not the best round, but he's killed some stuff off.
Yeah, I think as long as Sam's there, intrigue's hard.
And Guile will come in just to draw.
So interesting, why didn't he take him back? Maybe he doesn't want him back in Shadows.
Is he going to play Clever Feint on Mandon and Guile now? Possibly.
Alright. Yeah.
Attempt to anyway. 3 copies of Hand's Judgment, by the way. He's going to try. And it succeeds.
Nope.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. 3 in the deck as well, and 2 exchanges, so you always have to count on the possibility that Knights will have it. Down to 7 cards now. And yeah, I would imagine another exchange coming up, huh? Discards Jamie. Yeah, it's difficult for characters to win alone. Green Apple Knights can, with a bit of luck. And there was one of these, or there is now anyway. So he's not going to do Harris. Could get to Harris himself though.
So do you just try to play tourney at this point? I don't know.
Just play it now.
And just try to push some advantage and then, I don't know.
Playing Turney into the Harris would actually be pretty interesting. Basically, whatever you marshal after the Harris resolves is there to stay until you have to do Harris yourself. Get rid of the ones with negative attachments. You can keep former champion being nailed though is a bit awkward.
I think you probably then have to keep. Oh yeah, it doesn't work out great with the costs.
Yeah, but he has to count on the possibility that it's coming anyway. And if he doesn't play Turney, then it's Forgotten Plans guessing, right? I mean, if he plays Turney now into Forgotten Plans and then gets to Harris, then that's a disaster.
Oh, the mind games.
Yeah, we can't underestimate how quickly things can go. It's actually exchange into forced march. Really, a lot of knights can come in. Boros comes in for 1 from shadows. Okay, he's not in shadows now, so he also has ambush 3, by the way. Brings in a knight with him for sure. And if you have Osmund, he brings a knight. So let's say you have Osmund and Boros in hand. That's 4 knights that are going to come in, and you had 5 standing ones. So that turns into 9. You are on 2 power, and that means you are on 11 just by putting them all in the military challenge. So really, if he now plays, let's say, Hedge Knight and something else, then next round he could win with Turney.
That's another leeway. I think you should definitely then get rid of Undercity.
Isle of Ravens and Ghost. Ghost is not the best. Although
Yeah, in
it
this
could be.
matchup.
I mean, you could target the net one with Robert Strong if. Ooh. Okay. That messes with Burning Bright a little bit. The 2 negative attachments still in place, so they don't get shuffled back. You could, if Halder kneels, if Sam kneels, you could target that. There's the wall.
Boom.
That puts the clock on it now. And actually, only half an hour left. Yeah, they're not getting to round 8 with this tempo. Seasoned Woodsman is gone though. I don't draw as much.
Recost Sam is actually a really interesting card. So
Yeah, we played in testing with Micha one game where he had noble lineage like that, and I couldn't put dice in power challenges without stealth. That's pretty good.
oh, right. Wow, yeah, that kills her off completely. I mean, he would go really well together actually with Core Catelyn, or only that he blanks her as well, right? So
2 gold left again. Well, how about another red keep? Give himself more time. Or, just stuff into shadows, draw a little bit, see what you get for a potential tourney. The fact that the Harris isn't gone yet is tricky, and the fact that Forgotten Plans isn't gone. That's 2 rounds in the next 2 where either plot probably stops the win, and Knightswatch will be getting 2 walls by that point, plus probably power claim. And then you know that Robert also has the Harris at some point. Also has political disaster, which he might want to start thinking about now. There we go, more stuff's going to come. Could do with the Knight of Flowers. Start collecting some power that way.
Does he have Robert Strong?
I would not be surprised. 2 copies in the deck.
Because that's a chance where he could get an unopposed, maybe. On military.
Yeah, or he might just kill Thorin off, because that's a source of power gain as well.
True. Although this round is too little gold.
Yeah, I mean he's playing the Iron Bank with Habits Duo in the deck, which I'm sure he will actually the first opportunity when he gets it. Playing it on either Green Apple Knight is great, whether it's cancelled or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, no power claim will be coming the other way, even though, yeah, let's not play around with that. I wouldn't either, probably, as China here. You can defend power, you can oppose everything in theory before we see what else comes in. And what's the situation with House Florent Knight coming in now? Would get rid of the milked Green Apple Knight. That's not the best. Okay, so I think Robert will get what he can. He's put the pressure on now to Harris.
Yeah, now Mandon goes back as well. Probably.
He really nerfs all 3 Green Apple Knight. Yeah. Well done.
Is it enough to defend? No. Right?
With
No.
Halder's ability.
Yeah. But
I don't think so. There's 7 attacking.
True.
+3, I think, so no. If it's 7, +3 on this guy's almost good enough, but...
The sword coming in.
It's ambush 2.
No, I mean
Nightmares.
the blade, the water dancer sword, right, could come in.
It's going
Oh,
to make
yeah,
unexpected guile fall off.
That's tough.
And should be enough now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big play, I would say.
Yeah, and he can defend everything now. Actually, can't do anything. You can attack Intrigue, but that just nils the hobby, doesn't nil Sam. So unless Osmond does something, that's another power for Thorin plus the wall this round. Okay, so he's defended with 4 and lost without using the strength boost. Oh, actually, by the way, Sentinel Stand is terrible to use with Halder's ability. What about
No,
that?
but he has Craven as well
Yeah.
as he had Ghost before, and I don't know, something else on some.
I think he has.
If everything else was knelt and it was just Sam standing, kneeling Sentinel Stand wouldn't make a difference because obviously he's got more than one icon. But
Yeah, but there is 3 attachments, right?
He could
With
have.
both
It looks like he could have
Just
defended
2 would
successfully
be
and
enough.
still would have enough strength to defend the other 2 as well. Right?
I think so.
maybe he just didn't want to spend it in case of any tricks. Not that there's going to be many,
Or
but
just thinking possibly that Osmond brings in a power icon and wanted that one more than any other. I don't know.
Yeah.
So now what? Do you do Harris or do you Forgotten Plans?
I think the Harris comes first because I think Robert's going to try and delay Tawny, but he can't really delay it because he's racing against the wall now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so much defense on the Knight's side that it's barely even worth it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a Strangler, you've got a Milk, you've got a Craven. You're pretty sad right now.
And the fact that Robert hasn't got an Iron Bank with Habits Duo to get one of those replayed is pretty bad for him.
Yeah.
That's such an easy solution, even if it gets cancelled. Just to replay it. Now, if it's the Harris, you probably are not going to keep any of them. And those are the 3 key cards for tourney.
Yeah, and I think getting rid of that guile was really good for Night's Watch as well. 'Cause
Yeah.
getting just another shadow trigger from Madden even.
And now they're already thinking about the plot phase mind games because it's taking so long.
Yeah, Manda's trigger doesn't do a lot in this matchup. I don't think that, like, Night's Watch Valyrian Steel draws that many cards. It doesn't really.
Yeah, but you get the Undercity trigger.
Yeah, yeah,
You can find
Yeah,
good answers
that's the-
sometimes.
yeah. That's the important thing.
I'm gonna be honest, this kinda looks like it's one for Night's Watch, but maybe not.
Okay, so actually it is the Harris. I wonder now if Robert might regret not just playing Turney, getting what he can. He can surely get about 5 power and then it's 8-8 after this round. Yeah, but then he loses for the remainder of the game, right? Yeah, so maybe not. But now also has to wait out Forgotten Plans. Although if he remarshals a few knights, then there is pressure to play Forgotten Plans as early as possible because you can get a lot of power.
Yeah, as long as they pick up the pace,
Uh,
we'll make it another 2 plots.
yeah.
Yeah, also, honestly, the icon is not brilliant for Robert here, I think. One red win straight. I mean, it's not the worst, but
Does he run bounty?
Yes. One
yes.
gun.
Hopefully, there's a bounty to make the game a bit more even. I think.
He sacrifices the wall, so probably another one in hand.
Yeah. And further choking Robert's econ by getting rid of his own Gates of the Moon.
Yeah, now better get some Boros to reshuffle those Green Apple Knights and put them somewhere near the top. Torrent Ghost, that's a power gaining source potentially.
Okay, so we've still got the Craven one.
Well, the one with Strangler at least could have attacked. This one can't. Discards Lay Waste. And the cheap power icon. It's going to have what, 6 more gold. That's decent.
8.
Yeah.
So for Night's Watch, you have left Duel and Forgotten Plans, and what's the last one? What's the last plot?
The Crown.
Ah.
I can't see Robert playing Dahirus. I think he's just going to try and fill the board out.
They might get through all the plots, but I don't know if they're gonna start. It's not that much time left, right?
Yeah, when Robert plays Turney, if it's not blanked, then he might be doing a lot of those little digging with Boros tricks that will take up a lot of time, I think.
Another man than
By the
here
way,
anyway.
still haven't seen Boros, he would have been nice. Maybe now get one of those Iron Banks with the old
Maybe
town
Boros
trigger.
comes in with Eris. Is it just when it's just when he enters play, or is it when he's ambushed off from shadows?
When he enters play, it can trigger.
So he might come in with Osmond then.
Yeah, he could.
Unless that's him in shadows, then he just comes out of shadows and then something else comes from hand.
Seasoned Woodsman gone.
Season Woodsman's discarded, that's interesting, right?
Maybe he's got the third one in hand.
Can't imagine
Or
a better
maybe he
card
just
than
thinks it's-
Seasoned Woodsman.
Yeah, I mean, he got rid of the wall and he got rid of the Season Woodsman. That's pretty interesting play.
Here we go. Milk. Has
We've
been shuffled
no
back
more
now?
milk.
Not yet, okay.
No.
There was an Archivist trigger
So
before.
practice blade maybe? Seized by the guard, okay. On the Undercity?
Yeah, I could play that for... You don't need to bestow it too much because there's not going to be too many rounds.
No, you'd probably bestow it 2 max, because there's going to be...
2 rounds seems fair, you bestow it too, yeah.
But if he does that, he can't play the wall, so... Has he used the Old Forest Hunter in marshalling yet? No? No, so he could play the wall if he discards a card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now he can.
Blackbird before the That result would have been better. Would have given him another card to search through.
Yeah.
It seems interesting to me that he found Sentinel Stand to be of more value than the wall.
He has quite a lot of monicons though, doesn't he? But yeah, to speed the game up, I think keeping the wall would have been good.
Ooh, that's a good one. That was going to be reshuffled, replayed through the Blackbird.
Yeah. And now there's 2 power icons, ignore me.
Military should go through.
Yeah.
Kill one off, then see
if
what happens.
If only
Well,
the
there's
former
Ghost.
champion.
Yeah.
If only the former champion had won another challenge, and then it would have the stealth.
Yeah, it should win another challenge here.
And a power icon. So, what do you go with? The former champion and the Florent Knight?
Yeah, sounds good.
And then you can buff him by 3. So yeah, you can only defend for 6 realistically. Because you don't want to nail the Cage of Ravens, right? Unless he hasn't got anything in hand to use it for.
I think he has +4, right? He has 2 on Sam and then Craven and Blackbird. You might as well kneel now that result's gone. But I don't know if you want to spend that much on the military. Because you have Ghost.
Okay, waste the challenge, but it does require a defender.
I mean, it's not overly important as there's no wall in play, but you don't want to give away unopposed when you only got 15 minutes left, I guess.
There we go. Doesn't put former champion in.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Maybe he wants to, just in case the season's Woodsman, the Old Forest Hunter comes back with one, but then you've still got characters that can block it. And you're not winning power.
Okay, second halder or not? I would say so.
Or have we got a Hightower Knight to kneel the former champion?
Okay, so
Power's definitely not getting one.
it's going to kill. Oh, he's going to use the
The
ghost. Okay,
ghost.
that makes sense.
He can just put it back in with the agenda, right, and draw one. If he's got nothing else to put in.
I don't think Robert can achieve anything even if he puts a knight in
No.
to do power. I mean, you as knights, which
you
yeah.
he's only gonna have like a max of 7. Unless Boris grabs a power icon, but I don't know what he can grab. Can he also grab a Hightower Knight? It's just a non-Lannister Knight or a Kingsguard, right?
Yeah, it could be a Kingsguard, Lannister Kingsguard, or non-Lannister knight. Yeah.
So he could, if he had 2 Hightower
I mean,
Knights
any
that he could put into
Kingsguard, yeah.
play, then he could win it. But that's about it.
Or Knight of Flowers. He could fight Knight of Flowers with
Yeah.
if there's potential Boros. But yeah.
Okay, do we do challenges back just to spend some time on the clock and try to push the power through? We do. Okay, only 4 and Haldor is spent now, so this can be. Okay, it's just going to be opposed.
Yeah, he mustn't have the Hightower Knight.
Yeah, if you do this one, then Robert gets dominance, but he probably gets it anyway. Yeah. You should just attack with Sam.
Yeah, he's winning Dom anyway.
Does he still have a limited this round for that Robert Strong trick that you go from 2 to 5 gold suddenly and
But there's Ghost on Sam.
On Sam. Yeah, but you kill Halder, right?
Yeah, but you can do that anyway.
Yeah. I'd have certainly killed Halder, I think, if it was Robert Strong. He's too good.
Bryce was useful. Okay, so we'll have probably 2 more rounds. Get a quick one and then the decisive one, which makes me think now you don't play Forgotten Plans because there's no threat of winning with tourney. You will leave it for next one.
So what does Robert have? His coppers and tourney and what's
The
the...
Harris.
Oh yeah, his own Harris, of course.
No,
Yeah,
he's
nothing
definitely not
seems
playing to
brilliant.
Harris. Okay.
He's played the
Played it anyway.
Forgotten Plans, which means now if he gets to whatever it is, 8-9, then Robert has a target to catch in the next round. And then it's actually Harris into Crown, which might leave some power on, but probably not. There's not. I mean, if Boros has power on him and Green Apple Knight, maybe. Archivist gives back the attachments, but now you don't have that many cards and probably not going to draw like crazy.
We'll be finished before we can get to the Harris, I think.
That's almost certain, yeah.
Yeah, I think other thing that you can consider with Archivist, you would discard the knight, or you shuffle the knight that you can play with Burning Bright, right? I don't know if there was something valuable in there, I forgot. I think maybe
Bryce
there
was in there.
Yeah, and I think maybe
good.
there was an was the House for a Night, I think, was in there.
Yeah. I personally think you just take Bryce for the round, just so you can push challenges through, because the strength increase.
Discard Hand's Judgment. Not too worried about those tricks.
Probably has another one anyway. Like he's played one and he's drawn a load of cards, and obviously he's been reshuffled, so now he's probably got another like 2 in hand or something.
This deck doesn't actually have dupes, so he's going to search for playable stuff. I assume the 1 cost ones here.
Yeah, 1s or 2s. Could trigger Has he triggered the agenda yet? No. Yeah, he could put an attachment in with cage, gain another
could-
gold, and then put
Sorry.
some more shots in. It's okay.
Maybe he could try to get Thorin back. He was pretty okay, but probably not with the gold that he has at this point. Right.
Yeah, he could literally just play Thorin and that's it. But I think he can win most of the challenges he wants to, unless Boris grabs like a Robert Strong for the mill. But I wouldn't have thought that was ideal.
Well, needs to find something. There's 8 minutes remaining.
He
We
grabs
have to get
Thorin anyway.
Another round. Okay. So his first player here, if he doesn't do anything, then Robert basically controls the time. He will not needlessly do challenges to waste the round. He needs to get the tourney.
Yeah, he might literally just pass challenges after.
Yeah, unless you can. I mean, unless you're not
If
going
you
to
can win the
attack
power challenge,
into Thorin
yeah,
or anything
if
like
you-
that. Just the power if it's
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
yeah, that's the only it's the only challenge that's actually important in this matchup, I think. Intrigues are relevant because Valyrian Steel just fills the hand up constantly.
Okay.
Militaries are relevant because they have claim soak. So
Well, now there's Thorin and the little guy, and Sam has a military icon. Is he going
Yeah,
to amass
his
enough
only
strength to
icons.
plus Halder's ability to actually try to stop the military challenge on the turn? That would be quite crazy.
Well, he could also play the Gunning Steward next round, which is another
Yeah,
3.
I was really surprised when I saw the Cunning Steward. That
Yeah,
was the
it's a
first time
card
I
that
saw
doesn't
that
see
card.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spend the gold to get as much stuff into play as possible, and then end the round and see what happens on the tourney. I think that's the idea now.
If we get there.
Well, if we don't get there, then it's partly his fault because he needs to marshal quickly.
Yep. He might be having some analysis paralysis though, which does happen.
Hmm. Needs to go quicker because Night's Watch, as Night's Watch, I would be tempted now to just do challenges to waste time.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the guy that will be coming back next round fresh.
Yeah.
Stops the
Yeah,
gold.
so no gold. Do we have a bounty?
If there is one, maybe you save it. Or maybe not, just play out your stuff, yeah. Play out your stuff here.
Because there's
it
going to be very
probably-
limited econ next round, right? So
Yeah, it would
if
be
he's
good
playing
if
Tony.
you could put down maybe Arbor for the next round, because you're not doing anything this round anyway.
I'd probably... It's a bit late for the Arbor. I think you're losing too much tempo. I'd just put out as much as I can this round.
Hedge Knight.
Oh, we
Forward
were waiting on
champion.
the Night's Watch player to finish marshalling. Okay.
That was actually during his
Oh,
Doing
he
Robert
triggered the Cage of
turn.
Ravens. He triggered the Cage of Ravens. Yeah. Okay.
Spareboot can manipulate practice blade for what it's worth.
He probably just moves the cage to put something else into play. Oh, he can't. He's not a steward. He can stand the cage, though, right?
Yeah.
you can stand it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so there is a bounty.
marshal quickly, Robert.
Okay,
Which
so we
one?
get rid of
Military icon.
the Bold First Hunter.
Hob, 4 cards in hand.
Makes sense. Red keep.
keep.
Okay.
Okay. Can potentially get power, gold as well here if he has another high tower knight.
Or we could just see Boris come into play with Osmond. Or any Tyrell knight with Osmond.
Yeah. Well, now oppose and oppose quickly and then do as little as possible. then time will expire, and on the turn you have all the time to think how to amass enough to get ahead.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's not worth guessing if you can defend it successfully against the Halder triggers.
Halder, no.
Just
Yeah, you literally just put your smallest power icon in because you know there's not going to be like a superior claim or something. We're not making it to the next round.
It's not going to do a 3-minute intrigue challenge, you see.
I hope not.
Just defend with House Florin Knight. Ooh, okay.
He's going to eat the intrigue challenge then. Well,
Yeah, I
fine.
guess you try to keep as much board as you can.
Maybe he's got a Burning Bright in hand if something gets hit for the intrigue. Next round.
Unless Burning Bright gets hit right.
Yeah. I mean...
There we go.
It does. Oh.
Called it.
I feel like we maybe jinxed Robert a little bit this time. Because when we had these predictions, they somehow go horribly wrong.
Well, no, why? I mean, he has a chance. It's 10-2. He gets his tourney. He just needs to go
So
crazy
Noxie
with
Craven-
Boros, with Osmond.
Yeah.
Actually, he can't get to 15, that's the problem. So whatever he doesn't keep through dominance is going to be gone. So Osmond and Boros bringing in extra knights. Yeah, would be better for him if Knights Watch wasn't on 10.
10.
Although,
Yeah.
there we are. Actually, you can bring in a Green Apple Knight and it can't leave play. So it will stay
Yeah.
if you bring it with Boros.
And Boris would stay in play if he comes in with Osmond. And yeah, so the problem is we can't see multiple Boris shenanigans now. Because he
Yeah.
can't return to shadows and stuff. So once he's triggered, he's there for the rest of the game.
Yeah. If you go second, then Knights Watch might do challenges to mess with you.
They just do power, right?
Depends
I think-
how much you have, right? If you have 10 knights in play and you can just try to get all the power you want on defense, they might not do much. But if he gets 2 more characters into play, then Knights Watch might just do all 3 challenges, force all of them to be opposed.
Yeah.
If you can't get to 15, then you may as well go second.
Yeah, take some of the pressure off. There's not any renown on the other side until Longclaw sees play. But even then, it'll only be for 1 challenge, right? So. So what's the last matchup in this final?
It's actually Tyrell White Book by Super Duck versus Reinhardt, who plays Targaryen Brotherhood, so that should be high quality game.
That's going to be very, very, very rough.
It's supposed to start in 2 minutes. Assume they're not going to start while this game is still
I'd hope not.
on. If they do, then they need to be shot.
Well, Ryan's in here, so
Then we scrap the tournament and all results are null and void.
we start again.
We can do that. Yeah, if anybody's listening, we can do that. We have the power. There's going to be no world champion then.
Fresh recruits going to not do anything. It gains gold for Old Forest Hunter, actually. Okay.
Might have been tempted to play it.
There's
Oh,
another
he has
one.
another one. Okay.
Perfect card to have now. Get 3 more. 8 gold left. Potentially 9.
So another old forest hunter stood at the wall, maybe, and
I wonder if he
I don't
thinks
know.
he can defend military. It would be so risky. There is an Iron Emmet in the deck which he didn't take. That would have messed with
Yeah.
Robert's plans, because if you don't do all of your stuff immediately, then Iron Emmet just does military. Insubordination on the Woodsman to draw more cards. Probably not worth playing it on anyone on the other side, because they're going to attack together.
Yeah. And you don't have, it's not a forced, so you don't have to kill your own dudes anyway.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. He
Oh, and it specifies against you.
probably not going to have the strength to actually oppose military. So now we'll be looking at the numbers, how many knights there are.
Well, there's not going to be much gold. There's going to be 6. So we need some more high tower knights, maybe some hedge knights, or a bounty.
Yeah, one bounty got shuffled back in, I think.
Yep, there was one played to begin with, and then another one played now. Well, that last round.
There's a card in Shadows that's been there forever, by the way.
Maybe another Guile? Or is there only one Guile?
Only one.
Okay, so it's Boris or Robert Strong? For Robert's sake, I hope it's Boris.
I wonder
Okay,
if there's
that's
another
probably Boris.
Nightmares coming up.
What's he gonna Nightmares? The Red Keep?
Yeah, good Nightmares High Tower as well.
Yeah.
Or Osmond. Actually, can't Osmond on the turn. But High Tower could gain gold that Robert needs.
I think blanking the Red Keep so you can actually trigger your Thoros. I know it's only for one challenge, but that's an extra power, right?
No, is he going to pass, or is he
This
going to
one.
do challenges, is my question. Actually, he marshals Green Apple Knight. That's the one you could have put in with Osmond, right? He's if he doesn't have Nightmares, which he can't, as we said, so he would stay for
He's gonna stay. Oh yeah, true.
for the crown.
But he might have another Green Apple Knight in hand.
That would be ideal for him, actually. Maybe he marshaled him because it's a high tower trigger and is digging for more. It sees that it's not enough at the moment.
Even if you
Yeah.
find him with Boros, then it still works.
There we
Okay,
are.
there's another one.
Can they go into 2 successful challenges though? There's Sam there with his
A million attachments.
yeah.
We haven't seen the Dragonglass Dagger yet, right?
Old Forest
No.
Hunter gets gold to spend with the 2 cards that are still there.
Don't tell me he's got another
Craven,
Strangler.
Strangler, Nightmares. For Nightmares you didn't need the extra gold. Maybe Hand's Judgment gold.
For what?
Yeah, I mean,
Bounty?
Burning Ground doesn't do anything.
Or also
bounty,
just to
maybe.
be safe for dominance, right? If you don't
True.
need the cards, can't at least hurt.
Yeah, the cards aren't going to matter now if there's nothing in there that can enter play, so you might as well gain the gold for dominance. You're right.
Okay, so he passes. Now Robert has all the time to think. So let's imagine 7 of these guys go into military. That means it's 10-9 and dominance is 11-9. So he needs more than this. Either more knights or needs some of them in the intrigue as well.
I'm really wondering if he couldn't have gotten a second power on that former champion one of the earlier rounds, then he could stealth Sam in the military challenge, and that would be a big one already.
Yep.
Well, better be Boros. I mean, he needs 2 knights. Boros bringing in Knight of Flowers, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, and then what's that? What's the other card in chat? I'm hoping, right, the second card that was just marshaled is is the Guile that was shuffled back into the deck. And the first card was Boris this whole time.
But he can't leave play though.
Yeah, but he can't live player.
No, but for the for a Knight of Flowers trigger.
Still hasn't played the limited.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was hoping to play a bounty into a Robert Strong. Okay, there's Boris.
This is now blind. Best card, Green Apple Knight probably.
Yeah, or a Knight of Flowers, but Green Apple Knight definitely because of the strength.
Robert Strong also.
Or
It's
even
pretty
a
strong.
Bryce. A Bryce would be good here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryce I think would be good. Although all of that gets blanked by Sam for one challenger, it's really sad.
True.
Could still be a bounty into Robert Strong, by the way.
Yep.
That
But
would
there is
be a
also two
baller
saves.
move.
But
Yeah,
You
you
need the
can't
red keep
kill
as well.
Sam.
Red keep trigger to cancel Ghost. Oh, but Aemon. Oof.
yeah, there's two saves, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd need like 3 extra gold. He'd need 1 for Nightmares, 1 for the Red Keep.
Well, maybe he tries to bring in something that's crownable. Actually, not that many left in the deck besides himself and Green Apple Knights. I don't know if there's anything.
I think that's it, because he's not going to be running the Aaron, the Wing Knights. And he's definitely not running Red Apple Knights.
No.
So yeah, I think it's literally just 1 more Green Apple Knight.
Well, if it
There
was
must be some
there,
targets
then
in there if he's taking this long.
yeah, I mean he's probably
There might-
calculating the whole challenges phase now in his head before he
Yeah.
clicks on something.
You guys think about that stuff?
So House Florent Knight, if it comes in, it cannot discard Boros, and that means it will not discard anything. You don't just magically then go to the next target.
Yeah, no.
Robert without a time limit is a scary thing, I think. Super Duck and Reinhardt still watching this one, so we're safe. I need to get another drink.
The suspense is killing me.
But still the Boros trigger. I mean, fair enough. If he's calculating the military challenge and then just instantly does it when he clicks on this. But yeah, if he's going to take time to think it through again after and this comes into play, then we might be here for some time yet.
If he makes a mistake, it costs him the game. You know, he's trying to think of the best play he can make.
Yeah, and might cost Austria the World Cup. So.
Maybe he got disconnected.
Oof.
No. What would happen
I mean-
at that point? Would the game be awarded to the other team, or do we rematch
Yes.
if able?
Yeah, if specifically Robert got disconnected, then it would be awarded against him. If the game ended here through some kind of problem, then they need to replay because it's not clear, right? He has 8 knights and it's 10-2, and the 8 knights have renown, so. It's not
Yeah.
conclusive who wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I played a similar game against. I mean, not like similar decks, but in a similar circumstances in the 7K, and it's not completely unrealistic that he would take 10 minutes to think this bonus trigger through. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been there against Dennis with his Stark kill deck. I had the Bara Shadows, and I was thinking in marshalling for 10 minutes because I was trying to convince myself I have 15 power, but I didn't really. Well, he brings in a power icon. Power is the toughest to push through maybe, and but he does stand either himself or Mandon if he can do military and intrigue. And it is 5 strength by default, but this one doesn't stay.
No.
Hmm.
Okay, so he's going to do it instantly now. Has he calculated that it's enough to win the game or not?
The problem is putting everything into this one challenge means you're not winning any other challenges, realistically, apart from the intrigue,
I mean, if
which you get blanked.
Sam stays out of this one, then what's the situation? So 2 power, that's 8 more, that's 10.
I think Sam blocks this so the Green Apple Knights are like chuds. No, because you can't. Doesn't matter. He's still losing the challenge. I think.
It's 10 if he.
No, he eats that one and then uses Sam for the intrigue to actually defend it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then
I
he's
think
at 10-10, wins dominance, and that's game.
Yep.
Yeah. Wins dominance provisionally. Green Apple Knights, if they stay standing, they bring 18 strength to
16.
dominance. And the card in shadows can still come in and stand at this point, I guess, Mandon.
He's the biggest body, right?
True, but he has like a lot as well. Right. 6, 10, 14, 17, 20. So he can, I think, easily win dominance if he wants to.
Does Robert
Because-
run nightmares?
No.
Okay. I mean, nightmares would make it so much easier because I just nightmares Sam win the intrigue, win the game.
Nightmares makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, I think this one you defend with one character. The problem is also the crown means can't claim the one that defends unless it's stolen.
So you kill.
Probably not going to risk the ghost or aim and stuff here against the red
You'd
keep.
kill this Season's Woodsman, I think, which is sad, but I think that's the best option because you use Spare Boot to move your attachments to gain strength.
It's possible.
I think that's the only time. Or you just choose Eamon and just let Eamon die. Because you're not winning the intrigue. Well, you are with Sam anyway, so Eamon served his purpose. But also, if there is a bounty into Robert Strong, then.
Well, if Sam kneels, and then Green Apple Knights do intrigue, you have to spend Sam, and then they're still standing, and you use them to bring another high tower knight, and whatever comes from shadows stands Knight of Flowers. You have to be able to win power and defense as well.
He'd need a non-Tyrell knight to do that.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
But if it is bounty into Robert Strong, you can gain the power icon. But with the high tower knight on that. But if there was a you can't Robert Strong him. Never mind.
Okay, he spent the save. Well,
let's.
But
Okay.
can he win
this is
intrigue
spicy.
now? Not against Sam.
Depends.
Not against Sam. Yeah.
It depends if he has bounty into Robert Strong, because Ghost gets cancelled by the Red Keep.
Ah,
But then with bounty you get up to 5 gold.
Is it just for? Oh, yeah, he's a gold short, right?
I mean, there is a way for a
Yeah.
Tyrell Knight to enter play, surely. Oh, actually, Burning Bright and discard pile is empty. Could
Yeah.
still play a Iron Bank, will have its due. Faction card still standing. He could play Clever Feint. It's not the best.
it
You can
doesn't
only
do
do it on
anything.
Mandon, which you don't have the gold for.
You could do it on Night of Flowers as well, but it doesn't matter.
Mm.
I don't see it. $18 for dominance against like 30. 14, 17, 20, 20,
I don't know.
32.
I feel this
34 for
former
dominance on the other side.
champion should have gotten a second power earlier.
Yeah,
That's-
I mentioned that earlier. If he had stealth last round, would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, I think we are a little bit short here. Actually, dominance is not that far away.
It's 34 versus 18, 20.
Yeah. If you stand one more guy, let's assume there's a shadow card that can stand one more character.
So you stand Mandan, so
Yeah.
that's 18, 20, 24 versus 34.
Yeah, the problem is to make sure something else kneels, you would need to spend
The
a
intrigue and
character
the
as
Green
well,
Apple Knights.
plus Thorin's problem
But then
there.
Thorin triggers, yeah, so it's 11-11.
Yeah, you red keep Thorin, that costs you 1 more gold.
And you're not standing anything for dominance at that point. Unless you run all Bill Bone. But if there was old Bill Bone, we would have seen him about 8 rounds ago. Well, 5, but you know. Pinch, okay. Can he win the intrigue now? 4, 5, 6, no.
Not at the moment.
Bloody Sam.
Poof, yeah. Key character there. What can you do? I mean, he needed 1 more knight or 1 more previous power. Or 1 more power that he wouldn't have given away.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Owen the Oath. Just means they don't contribute the strength anyway. Oh.
Ah, just in case.
Oh. Okay, that makes the maths a lot easier.
Yeah, Sam wins the game. It's just
Yeah, that's rough, I think.
One more hedge knight would have done it. One more green apple knight as well. Put into the challenge and contribute another strength, another 9 strength for dominance. I think Robert's just desperately trying for us to find a solution now that isn't there. He has a standing knight that can bring in high tower knight.
But he's not winning the power challenge. What a game.
Last lot was duel. I think duel would have been better here for Night's Watch, and we wouldn't probably even be thinking about this now. Because Green Apple Knights wouldn't have stayed in play.
Mm-hmm.
One of them wouldn't, so.
But
So it's
maybe he
gonna
thought
be
that Boros recycled is a larger threat.
it's gonna be 10-11, and then it'll be 12. It'll be 10-12 with dominance. So yeah. Rough. And people used to smack talk Sam Waltali.
Robert needs to find another 7 for dominance. Another 8.
Iron Bank on Night of Flowers.
Well,
We don't have anything with ambush now.
I already have gold for them, as I don't know how much that brings you to.
10.
poof. So that
18,
Cage of Ravens
26.
bringing in a character actually, now that he's actually spent this to gain another 6, that's close. He needs another 2 and that would be it. Right? Oh no, the strength of the knights has gone down as well in the meantime.
Yep.
So that's 26.
Yeah. Against 10, 14, 18, 21, 24, 27, 20, 30 with the gold.
Okay. Well, that was a long one. Quite dramatic.
What a game. So Reinhardt has to take it, or China gets the crown again, right?
I have been absolutely terrible with my predictions in this one. Really dreadful. I thought Robert would have it. I mean, I was imagining this kind of scenario, but starting from 10-2 was too big of a gap. I think this was the easier one, and yeah, if China now wins, I can remember this 11-10. Okay, so I guess we're staying in this one now. I assume the other 2 players will start shortly. We can quickly take a look at the decks in the meantime.